Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I wanted to talk about the ISA, the stocks and shares ISA in the UK versus a GIA, a general investment account. Choosing the right investment account that is aligned with your goals is so important. It can be very confusing knowing which account to have. There's no right or wrong answer ultimately, but a lot of people have different opinions, and one person can be saying, oh, you should be having this account and you have the other account, and it can be confusing. So I just want to lay down the facts in this video, give the correct information from trusted accredited sources so that you can act upon it using your own judgment and other sources, because of course this video is strictly not financial advice, it's for entertainment. Let's get the ball rolling then by starting off with the stocks and shares ISA. What exactly is it? A stocks and shares ISA is an investment account which allows you to invest £20,000 per tax year, nothing more, and I was going to say nothing more and nothing less, but of course you can put less than £20,000 in it per year. The main benefit to why people use a stocks and shares ISA is that you do not pay any tax on the gains which are made from that pot of money. So say for example you put £20,000 in your first year and that grew to £40,000. You could take that £40,000 out of that stocks and shares ISA and you would not pay a single penny in capital gains tax. You are free from capital gains and dividend tax. I think there's a common misconception with stocks and shares ISAs, and that is that it's hard to get your money out. That is not the case. With investing apps like Trading 212, Freetrade, it's so easy to withdraw your money out and control that pot of money. You say where it goes, you can literally select what shares, funds, ETFs you put that money into and take it out whenever you wish. The main drawbacks of using a stocks and shares ISA, you can only invest £20,000 per year. To the average Joe blogs, £20,000 is a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure anyone, would love to have £20,000 a year to invest. So I don't think that this is going to be a problem for the majority of people. Second to that, once you've invested £20,000 and say you withdraw that money out the ISA, you cannot then put it back in the same tax year. And then drawing on from that, once you've invested the full £20,000 in a tax year, say that pot of money then shrinks, you lose some money in the market and it goes down to £18,000. You can't then put an extra £2,000 in that same year and effectively your pot is still £20,000. You can only invest £20,000 in that year. I hope that makes sense because, yeah, I need to get better at explaining things, I think. Moving on then to a GIA, General Investment Account. What is it? Essentially, a GIA is an account where you can contribute or withdraw as much money as you like, whenever you like. Now, this type of account doesn't come with the same tax benefits as an ISA. You don't have that £20,000 tax-free wrapper, but you do have something called allowances. An allowance is an amount of money which you can make before paying tax. There are two main taxes that you are exposed to when investing, and that is capital gains tax and dividend tax. With capital gains tax, you get a personal allowance of £12,300 per year. Any capital gains above the 12,300 threshold will be subject to either basic rate, which is 18%, or the higher rate, which is 28%. Now, it's important to note that you will only pay capital gains tax on sold or realised investments. So even though your portfolio may have gone up £50,000 in a tax year, if you don't sell it, you do not have to pay capital gains tax. An important point with capital gains tax, it takes into account not just stocks and shares, it will take into account any assets that you have bought and sold. So that could be an investment property, or if you flip cars as a bit of a a side hustle, it would take into account that as well, and those would also eat up your allowance. The second tax that you are exposed to with the GIA is dividend tax. Like capital gains tax, you get a personal allowance of £2,000 per tax year. Any dividend income over the 2,000 threshold would be taxable at different rates based upon your income tax rate. The main two bands here are basic, which is 7.5%, and higher rate, which is 32.5%. So to put it all into a conclusion then, should you have a GIA or should you have an ISA? There isn't an answer to this question, and ultimately you will have to do your own research, but I hope this video has helped lay down the facts, which may help you form your decision. But in my personal case, I used to have a GIA, and I had several friends which were on other trading platforms who had ISAs, and they said, George, you need to get an ISA because of the £20,000 tax-free wrapper. Very, very valid points, but it wasn't really necessary at that point for me to transition to that, because I was trading with a few £1,000s, right? So unless I invested in GameStop right before it balled right up, I wouldn't have made, and I did not make, £12,300 in assets. So having a GIA starting off to learn the ropes is absolutely fine, and I personally use Freetrade as a platform. Their stocks and shares ISA is £3 per month. Yeah, it's not a huge cost whatsoever, but the GIA is absolutely free. So perhaps, like, if you were starting off, the GIA may be better for you just to experiment. And then if you get more serious about it and want to start investing a consistent amount, which is not going to be above 20,000, of course, perhaps the ISA would be a better option for you long term. If you haven't already started investing, it's a brilliant time to get involved. There has never been a better time in terms of technology. We've got all of these financial tech apps, like I mentioned, Freetrade, which I use, Trading 212, and there are several other platforms which have made trading stocks and shares so accessible to the everyday person. Now, if you wanted to be proactive and get your investing journey started, there's a link in my description to a free share worth up to £200 on the Freetrade platform. It's important to note, I will get a free share for that as well, and so will you. If you found the video useful, I would appreciate it if you hit that like button, and also subscribe and stay tuned for more stocks and shares, business, pretty much everything. I had a video on Pokemon cards, what am I doing? Anyway, yeah, see you in the next video.